Our next speaker, our keynote speaker, while we were all sleeping, was on an airplane to be with us. Her name's Christina Tobin. Christina Tobin has devoted her life to protecting the right of all people to vote and to run for office, ensuring that all elections are free and equal. As Ralph Nader's National Ballot Access Coordinator in 2008, she has a deep knowledge and familiarity not only with California's election law, but also alternative approaches nationwide, which California voters may consider in the future. Christina is the founder and chair of the Free and Equal Elections Foundation, a nonpartisan, nonprofit public policy and advocacy organization dedicated to protecting the rights of the politically marginalized and disenfranchised, particularly those of third-party and independent voters and candidates. She is also CEO of Free and Equal Incorporated, a ballot access, consulting, and petitioning firm. Christina has helped gather signatures, over 500,000 signatures, to ensure that voters have a choice when they went to cast their vote on Election Day. She's secured ballot access for numerous independent candidates and alternative political parties, including the Constitution Party, the Green Party, the Libertarian Party, and the Socialist Equality Party. During the 2008 presidential election, Christina organized the only nationally televised presidential debate to feature independent and third-party candidates. And this debate was broadcast live on C-SPAN 2 in prime time. Christina also organized a vice presidential debate in 2008, as well as 2 gubernatorial debates in Illinois. Christina commissioned the Stop Top 2 website to protect the rights of California voters, independents, and third parties, and to ensure the big money behind Top 2 doesn't drown out the voices of ordinary people like ourselves. Christina is a Libertarian candidate for California Secretary of State. She's an advocate for extending this progress to third parties and independents, ensuring a level playing field for all. Christina will lead California, as well as our nation, into the 21st century. Please join me in giving a warm Kentucky welcome to the next Secretary of State from California, Ms. Christina Tobin.
Article 1, Section 3 of the Constitution, all elections shall be free and equal. In 1998, I was 18 years old, and there was this gentleman that gathered over 64,000 signatures in Illinois. The requirement for third parties and independents is 25,000. For Democrats and Republicans, it's 5,000. This is my father, Jim Tobin. He ran as a Libertarian. The hearing officer recommended he be placed on the ballot, and the State Board of Elections wrongfully knocked him off the ballot. The funders behind that was the governor at that time, George Ryan, who is currently in prison in Illinois. Yay! Where he deserves to be. Along with Blagojevich and the rest of them. Rum and going on. But in any case, in 2002, I took a semester off from college, gathered over 5,000 signatures for my dad, defended his signatures, and got him on the ballot in Illinois as lieutenant governor. In 2004, I finished college. It was very, very challenging because I loved election law so much. A major in graphic design, a minor in business marketing. It's anything but politics. But in any case, I got this call from an independent presidential candidate, Christina, by the name of Ralph Nader. Needs some help getting on the ballot in Illinois. So I crossed the political spectrum. I did what was right, and I felt that every candidate across the spectrum should have a chance to be on the ballot, that the voters of Illinois, the voters of the United States for that matter, deserve more voices and choices. I was unable to get them on the ballot, but I took everything that I earned from that campaign and sued the Democratic chair of Illinois. I lost the lawsuit, and then I traveled 10,000 miles away for 3 years. Needed a break to Bali, Indonesia. I've never told this story before. On October 1st, 2005, my world, it shook in Bali. It was the second bomb. It's horrible. And, you know, the television, there was no censorship. It was a mile away. My whole world stopped when I realized that I was not going to tolerate terrorism anywhere in the world, but it was the United States, Indonesia, Costa Rica. So I came back to the States in 2006, got the Green Party in Illinois established on the ballot. First time in history a third party has ever been established. And in 2008, as Christy mentioned, I was hired as the 2008 National Coordinator for Ralph Nader, succeeding in getting over 500,000 signatures to get them on the ballot in 45 states plus DC, hence the presidential debate. What evolved out of this was the Free and Equal Elections Foundation. We incorporated last April in Chicago. I decided to sell my jewelry company last April and decided to devote the rest of my life for election reform. Yeah. So, yeah. It's awesome. So, it's great to hear all these candidates today. How do we fix the problem? Free and Equal will be kicking off a nationwide drive for a $500 fee in lieu of signatures to get candidates on the ballot. In Illinois, we already have a legislature willing to sponsor this bill. Colorado and Louisiana already have it to where it's $500 to get on the ballot in lieu of signatures. We will also be kicking off a statewide drive for proportional representation in 2012 in California. What is proportional representation? 73 countries use it, including the UK. It means that 5% of the people vote for a certain party, they get that many seats of representation in the legislature. It may be a form of PR for the people, for the independents, and not the parties, yet to still be determined. We'll also be launching and continue to launching all-inclusive debates. This October I'll be traveling nationwide between Illinois, Oklahoma, possibly Connecticut, back to Kentucky, and ending off in California for a back-to-back U.S. Senate gubernatorial debate in most of those states, where we recently held one at Chicago State University, and it was covered by the Huffington Post, NPR, Chicago Sun-Times, on and on.
What about Fox?
I've been on Napolitano Freedom Watch already. We'll be on again. I took the lead on stopping Top 2 in California. Briefly what it is, everybody in Kentucky needs to know it was passed June 8th. $5 million from corporations and health insurance companies spent to pass the Top 2 measure this past June 8th. What it means in California now, only the top 2 vote getters in the primary advance from the primary to the general election, which means only 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans. So the voters of California, essentially, the only candidates that will be on the ballot will be the 2 candidates funded by the corporations, health insurance companies, and chambers. Free and Equal Elections is here to stop that spread nationwide, and we are successful in doing that thus far. Hence the race for Secretary of State as a Libertarian. I am an independent that supports all the parties across the spectrum. In California, it takes 173,000 signatures to get on the ballot as an independent. So I'm currently running as a Libertarian. I've already been on the cover of the New York Times twice, the Wall Street Journal 3 times, ABC, NBC, and soon we'll hit the London Sunday Times. I want to thank Christy for having this ability to see so far in the future like nobody else I've seen nationwide. She has been we can't even keep up with her with Free and Equal. We have caucuses forming and we can't even keep up with our huge online social networking tool, which will be upgraded in the upcoming weeks. We will have caucuses developing nationwide, and Kentucky, of all 50 states plus DC, is taking a huge stride in the lead, for that matter, in developing these caucuses. So we look forward to Free and Equal being able to support this from a nationwide perspective and eventually internationally as well. So to end on that note, not only do we fight for electoral reform, we fight for what the people want. We have to get the incumbents knocked out of office. We have to get people like you, a lot of people here running into office by breaking down these ballot access barriers, implementing proportional representation, having all-inclusive debates nationwide. These are things that we need to do to get the incumbents knocked out of office and to fight for the people. The people do not want war. The people want legalization of marijuana. These are the type of things that the people want. And Free and Equal's job is to get representation in the office from independents, third parties, disenfranchised Democrats and Republicans. I've actually gathered over 1 million signatures to get these candidates on the ballot nationwide, and will continue to do so for the rest of my life. So Christy, thanks again for being so bold. I mean, this is like months, if not 6 months, a year ahead of our time frame, but I could not resist even red-eyeing it to come out here to finally meet you, because you have taken a lead and example, and you've set the precedent of what all the other state caucuses for free and equal elections will be doing. Free and Equal has been endorsed by Ron Paul, we've been endorsed by Ralph Nader across the spectrum, and we will continue to grow, and thank you. I will never forget this, and I will forever recognize you in the future for your loyalty and everything you've done. So thank you very much for everybody for being here, and